Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, as you can see by the title, today we're doing something a bit different. I haven't done this before. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favourite Bollywood movies. So, during lockdown, a thing that we started doing a lot more was watching Bollywood movies, and I used to watch them so much as a kid, especially because we'd be going to see family all the time, and obviously, it would just be on or whatever. And yeah, we just watched it a lot when I was younger. And then recently, in the past few years, we haven't watched them as much. But in lockdown, we've been watching quite a few. It's sort of like a Saturday morning or Saturday daytime thing because they're so long that they take more than the morning to watch. But so that's one thing I would say about these, is that if you're going to watch them, some of them are alright, but if you're going to watch them, you need to set aside some time because they are pretty long. So I have got a list on my phone. I've got like 3 categories. My first category is like Bollywood movies that are similar, that have like a similar style to Western movies, more like Hollywood movies, but still like Bollywood movies. Another category I have is more of the like traditional, like I wouldn't say traditional Bollywood, but traditional Indian movies, if that makes sense. And if you know what these films are, then you'll understand my categorization of this. And then my third category is like the classics. And I know that my classics are not going to be everyone's classics because, movies from the 60s and the 70s were classics. But for me, movies from the 90s and the 2000s are classics. I'm sorry, I am only 17. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, just a little side note, guys. I just finished filming, but I was just thinking about what I said. Sorry if I don't pronounce these things correctly. I don't speak Hindi at all. I can understand it a bit, but I don't speak it. I don't have any practice of speaking that language, so I'm sorry if I mispronounce anything. I was trying my best to pronounce things as best as I could, but please don't click off the video because of my pronunciation. Okay, continue watching. So, category number 1 is the Western style movies. So, the first one I have is Two States. It is such a funny movie, but also it really accurately represents how sometimes the tension between North Indians and South Indians. And if you've been on TikTok recently, more specifically brown TikTok, then you'll know that that's definitely still a thing today, that the friction between North and South Indians. But it's portrayed in this movie so well, and it's so funny. Basically, a girl from South India and a boy from North India, they meet at uni, and they fall in love and whatever, and then they leave, and I'm trying to remember the storyline correctly. But anyway, they end up getting engaged and they want to get married. Actually, no, they start dating, and then they have to sort of introduce the families to each other, and it's just so awkward. And basically they just have to work at getting the approval and the respect and stuff of that the other person's family, and they get, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to say anymore, but it's just really funny, but also it's true, it is like this. And even though it's a sweeping generalization of everyone, it is still very, very accurate, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, it's done in a way that's really entertaining, really funny, and yeah, it's a really good movie. It's just a funny movie. I feel like if you don't know that side of the culture as much, it might not be as funny, but it would still be really, really insightful, and it's still funny anyway. But I think if you understand it a bit more, then you can it's just funny to see it on a screen in a movie, that people they recognize this and stuff, and they're making it into a movie, so, and they do it in a funny way. So the next one I have on this list is Dil Dara Kanero with Priyanka Chopra and Anil Kapoor, and they're on a boat. Basically, they're on a cruise, and for their parents' anniversary, and it's just the families are really wealthy, high flying. Are they from Delhi or Mumbai? I don't remember. But yeah, and they like go on a cruise for the anniversary of like the parents, and it's just hilarious. It's hilarious, but also just so good. There's like so many, everyone is so secretive about everything, which is standard in Indian families. But like, you know, I actually really liked Priyanka Chopra's character in this. She herself is a different story. But her character, what's her name? I don't remember what her name is in the movie. But she's really good. Like, she has her own, like, she started her own company, and she's like the CEO of like this big thing. And she got married, but like there's complications in the marriage. A lot of sexism. But there is this one scene where the guy who she actually likes, or who's like her ex or something, comes on the cruise. And like he completely shuts down her husband, because her husband is like, you know, I allowed her to go and work, and I allowed her to start her own company, blah blah blah. And he's like, you allowed her? Stop right there. Like, the fact that you have the power to allow her, and he just goes off, and it's just, oh, it's awkward for the characters, because obviously like that culture doesn't, like, we don't really like have those kinds of conversations, but he does, and it's just so good. And like the brother just really hits the spot with his comedy. Like, there's this one scene with the mother-in-law. You'll know if you watch the movie, then you'll know, if you've watched the movie, then you'll know what scene I'm talking about, with the mother-in-law, where she's like, I'm gonna kill myself, and he's like, that is the incorrect knife here, this is the better one for you. And everyone's like, oh, what? But it's so funny. It's so funny. It's a really good cast. Everyone is such good, like, I don't think there was any bad acting, maybe from like the kids, because they invite like all of their family friends and stuff on the cruise with them. It deals with some like proper issues and stuff, which is good, again with like two states, but it's just delivered in a really funny way, and it's quite, there are some really serious bits, but overall it's quite light-hearted, and it's all narrated from the point of view of the family dog, which I thought was quite funny, because the dog, like, I think the dog's name is Pluto, he just spits some insightful lines, and it's like, yeah, that is interesting. You're a smart dog. So yeah, that is a really good movie to watch. I really like it. And also, that song where they're all like having like their party on the cruise ship, and like everyone's like doing the dance. Good. So the next one I have on this list is Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, which has got Hrithik Roshan. And so this film is really funny as well. You can tell that like when it comes to like the Western style movies, I prefer the funny ones. So three men, they used to be friends when they were kids, I think, and they made like some sort of pact that like, something about like their bachelor party thing. Oh my god, what is it? I should have like refreshed myself on these movies. Anyway, they have some sort of like pact about like when one of them gets married, they're gonna do like these things. But then they like end up, I think they lose touch of it, but then they like come back together and they do all these like crazy like life experience things, like conquering like fears and things like that. It's just a really good movie about like really going outside your comfort zone and just experiencing things that you wouldn't have done before.
But I don't think you actually want to experience things, because you would experience it if you wanted to experience things. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's also hilarious, so funny. Oh, Katrina Kaif's in there. She's good. I don't really have much to say about this movie other than it's just a really like feel-good movie. Makes you feel good, makes you feel inspired to like do things, but also it's just funny and entertaining to watch. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that film, but I don't have a lot to say, but it's a really good movie. And then the last movie in this list is Chennai Express. This is such a ridiculous movie. It's like funny, but like ridiculous funny. So it's got Shah Rukh Khan and Deepika Padukone, and you know, if Deepika Padukone is in a movie, do I need to say more? I think that's enough. I think the video is done now. I'm kidding, oh my god, don't leave. So Shah Rukh Khan's character, his grandpa dies, he was really close with him, and he has to go, what's the thing? With his ashes. Spread his ashes? Or his ashes? I don't, oh my god. Anyway, he has to like put his granddad's ashes. Is it? Oh, where is it that he needs to go? I am so sorry that I haven't got all the facts for this movie. But anyway, he's like, he kind of turns it into like a trip with his boys, and he's not going to go to the place. He's going to go somewhere else. It technically like leads to the place or something. But then he meets Meena, which is Deepika, on a train, and she is like running away from her like family because they want to get her married or something. And so it's just like their journey of like how Shah Rukh Khan the whole time is like, I need to get back to my friends because I missed my stop or I got on the wrong train or something, and I need to go do this. And Deepika's like, I need you here because they're gonna get me married. And it's hilarious stuff they do. Like there's this bit on a train where they're singing all of these songs. I think they're singing prayers on the train, but they're changing the words so they can speak Hindi, but Meena's people who come to find her on the train, they don't speak Hindi, so they're trying to like talk in Hindi through prayers. They change the words, and they do the same thing like towards the end of the movie with all these like classic songs and stuff. Oh my god, it's so funny. It's such a funny movie, and it's like it's nice character development from Shah Rukh Khan. His name in the film is Rahul. Would we have guessed any different? I don't think so. Some aspects of the South Indian representation is just not great at all. I think it's a little bit unfair sometimes, but other times I think it's quite nice. It's nice to see that's like, because there is just like, you don't get that kind of representation. Did I say South Asian or did I say South Indian? I don't remember. It's just a nice film, you know, Rahul changes, and he's like a good person and like does the right thing. Like kind of, you know, your usual story arc, but it's just really, really funny, really, really ridiculous funny. So I would suggest maybe watching some other, if you've never watched a Bollywood movie before, I don't know if I'd start with that one, because I think you need a bit more like background knowledge to understand some of the jokes, and also I don't think you'll find it funny if you haven't watched other ones before, because I think that kind of ridiculous comedy can be quite an acquired taste. And it's a very hard thing to do right, because I've seen so many other Bollywood movies that have that just ridiculous humor in it, and it's just actually ridiculous. Like, it's not even funny, it's like, but this one does it pretty well, but I would suggest maybe not starting with this one. You don't have to like watch every single Bollywood movie and like understand every single song that they reference or anything, but it's just, I think it's better if you watch a few other ones first, but it is still a really, really good one. So if you've watched a few, I think you should watch that one, especially if you watch some of the comedy ones, because I think it'd be easier to like ease into some of the other films I recommended, because they're like more similar to Hollywood comedy, like sense of humor. So that is, oh, one more that I haven't written down on this list. I'm pretty sure this counts as like the Western style movie. I feel like the lines are kind of blurred, but I love, is it Piku or something? Piku. Yeah, with Deepika and Amitabh Bachchan, and it's like this father-daughter relationship thing, and it's so funny, and I think if it was a wavelength of like sense of humor, I think it's definitely more towards Chennai Express, but it's just really funny. I don't know what to say about it. It's heartwarming, a little bit sad at like some points, but it's a really heartwarming, funny, really, really funny movie. And someone just honked outside. Again, I don't really have much to say about this because I feel like I'm just going to repeat myself otherwise. But you can definitely like see the genre of film, Bollywood films I like. So yeah, basically, Deepika's dad has some like constipation issue, but she's like, it's just in your head, like you're overreacting, but also is like trying to help him and like doing like the daughterly thing of like looking after him because her mum, I think, is dead. Well, yeah, and that she's their only child, and so she spends all of her time looking after him and reading up about his condition and blah blah blah. And he's like really old and just, oh my god, it's so funny. Okay, next category. This is a very small category, and this is the like traditional Indian movies, not traditional Bollywood. So there are only 2 films on this list, and so the first one is Kalank. It is intense is an understatement. Intense is an understatement. It is like there's a love triangle, but then like the way that all the characters are actually related to each other is insane. There's so many twists and turns in like the movie, and you like, I think you can see it going one way and then it does another thing. You're like, oh, okay, they're doing that thing, but then it might go back and do what you thought it was gonna do, and just, oh my god, it's set during 19, I want to say like 1920 or 30s. I don't know if I got that right, but basically when like the British were bringing more like factories and stuff into India, and a lot of like the Muslim community who were like blacksmiths and stuff were losing their jobs because of the factories coming in, and the Hindus are more like, yes, let's bring in these factories whilst forgetting about like all the Muslims that are going to lose their jobs. So tensions are high, very, very high between the Hindus and the Muslims. My favorite aspect of the film is the cinematography of it. It is beautiful to watch. In my opinion anyway, it is gorgeous to just sit there and just like look at what you're looking at, if that makes sense. Like the colors and just like the choreography of all the extras and like the choreography and the songs. I really like the songs in the movie. I love the cast. I think it's a really good cast. They got a lot of really good people in there. I think everyone's acting is really good. There is this one scene though with a CGI bull, and it is just so bad. It's so bad. You could definitely tell that they spent all of their budget on set and costume and all of that stuff, because they just did not have enough for the CGI. It's so bad. But I guess like it's not intentionally funny. It's supposed to be pretty serious, a pretty serious moment. But like I found it really funny. My friend found it funny. My family found it funny to watch. Just like how ridiculous it was that this is the CGI they're using in this kind of film. So even though it's bad CGI, it's thoroughly entertaining to watch. But yeah, like if you want to go and have like if you want to go and like watch something that you're just like, oh my god, this is just beautiful, then watch Galang. I feel like for some people they can find the storyline a bit questionable. I personally thought it was pretty good. It's just, I liked how the characters are all kind of separate in their like own ways, but like slowly come together, and you know, betrayal and love and all of that good stuff that, you know, gets your heart beating but too fast. You know, there's the classic train scene at the end. Wouldn't be like a proper Bollywood movie without train scene, am I right? So yeah, that's Galang. Really nice, really good music, nice to look at, good to watch, intense. The next one and the last one on this list is Padmavat, with, again, Deepika Padukone, because duh. Like, just, you know what? You might as well just forget everything I said. Watch anything with her in it and you won't be disappointed. I don't think, anyway. If you can't tell, she's my favourite. Fun fact, it used to be Preeti Zinta back in like the 2000s, and I actually got to meet her. She held me. She was like, oh my god, you're gorgeous. You should come and live with me. And so I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I have to live a life of, like being unknown, and it's just too much work for me right now. She's like, I understand, but we can be besties. Here's my card. Yeah, no, I mean, she carried me. That was really nice. And I'm going on a tangent. So yeah, Padmavat, again, beautiful to look at, so beautiful. The only thing I'd say about this film is that I think it takes its time with events unfolding, but I guess that reflects, like, you can tell, like, they do often, like, bring up the fact that, like, like, our troops, like, they're getting restless, they've been here for ages, and you're like, same, I'm getting restless too, can something happen? But no, it's really good film, really good movie. I like the songs. I love Ranveer's, like, portrayal of his character. He really just gets into his characters, and it's just, yeah, really, really funny, but kind of scary. But yeah, again, set like way back, like centuries ago. So yeah, good movie. Not as intense. It's definitely more like slow paced, but still like really nice to look at. Nice costumes, nice set, everything. So now on to my last category, which is the classics for me. So one of my all-time favorite movies, which is on Netflix, is Om Shanti Om, where this is where, like, Deepika made her debut, and everyone was just like, oh my god, it's got Shah Rukh Khan in there. What is the plot line of this? Because I remember it being kind of complicated. I think like Deepika and Shah Rukh Khan are in love, and is it Shah, or is it Deepika who's like the movie star? But then like she dies and he dies, but then they're reborn again and they fall in love again, I think. Arjun Rampal is in it, and he is terrifying as always. I literally, oh my god, I find him so scary. Like, Om Shanti Om had just changed me forever. Like, when I went to meet Priti Zinta, he was there too, and I cried my eyes out. I was so terrified of him. And like, even if I hear like the music from, when like Shanti Priya is like, Deepika is like knocking on the window and like the whole thing is like on fire, like that music, I will listen to it and I will get so incredibly upset and anxious. It's crazy like how much that film affected me. But such a good film. Oh my god, and like that song at the end where it's like the Avengers Endgame of Bollywood, and just all of those actors and actresses just come in. So good. I love that bit because I'm like, who do I recognize? Now I think I recognize all of them, but it's just fun to see like who was so big in Bollywood at that time, because it's completely different now. It's completely changed. Kind of like a little time capsule of like where Bollywood was at that time. But yeah, I love the acting between those two, songs, just storyline. Yeah, it's a bit dramatic, but that's what you're getting when you're watching a Bollywood movie. Just such a big part of my childhood. My auntie would always like call, she still does, she calls me Shanti Priya, and I remember I got this pink like dress up dress and like a bag, and like it had a little fluffy handbag, dog, and like these like high heel like dress up shoes, and that was like my Shanti Priya outfit. So good film, really big part of my childhood. Next one here, so good, it's Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Of course I'm going to put this on my list. Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Shah Rukh Khan, Kajol and Rani Mukherjee. Amazing. Just so good. Miss Braganza, oh my god, and the other head teacher. Just the outfits are so like, it's the beginning of the film is like my favorite bit, when like Mini Anjali is like reading all the letters and stuff from Rani Mukherjee after she dies. So basically, Rani Mukherjee and Shah Rukh Khan, there's like a love triangle between Rani, Shah Rukh and Kajol, and Shah Rukh and Rani end up like getting together, they get married. They have Anjali, which is the name of Kajol's character, so they kind of name their daughter after Kajol. And then Rani Mukherjee dies after giving birth to Anjali, and so she writes all these letters for Anjali to open on her birthdays and stuff, like talking about just like her life and stuff. And so Anjali's like reading the letters about like when they were all in high school and stuff, and then like you go back and it's just like everyone's outfits on point, honestly. Like they're questionable, but questionably on point, if that makes sense. I liked seeing Shah Rukh Khan as a dad to Anjali. I liked their relationship a lot. Anjali was so cute. I don't know if anyone else like found her annoying or anything, but I thought she was so cute. Kajol, as always, just, you know, being an icon. Shah Rukh and Kajol, do I need to explain more? Just the chemistry. Immaculate. A feel-good movie, upsetting, just, you know, like your classic Bollywood movie where it's all fun and whatever and things just get dramatic and just emotions are flying around everywhere. So that's like all I have on my list. I'm just trying to think of like other ones because I know there's other classic movies that I think people should watch. Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, that is on Netflix too. Insane, just dramatic, serious, great cast. You know, you've got Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, Hrithik Roshan. I'm just going to quickly read you the Google like mini description. It's like 2 sentences. Rahul, obviously Shah Rukh Khan, it's Rahul, the adopted older son of a rich couple, is banished by his father when he chooses to marry a middle-class woman. Years later, his younger brother, Rohan, Hrithik Roshan, sets out to find him. Just, you know, love, drama, families, and class, unfortunately, and such a, like, I feel like that is just like the royal family of Bollywood. Just all the people in that movie. Go ho na ho. Yeah. So that is set in New York, and it's got Priti Zinta in it, and Shah Rukh Khan, and Saif Ali Khan. Love triangles, death. I'm pretty sure death. Priti Zinta, 2000s New York. Just what more could you want? You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this and found it useful. Let me know if you've seen any of these. Let me know which ones you're going to see, and if you watch them after this video, tell me what you think about them because I want to know your thoughts. And if I missed any off, I'm sorry. This is kind of just like a quick idea that I randomly thought of, and I was like, oh, this would be fun to do. So I've watched quite a few recently. If I know I'm going to think of other ones right after I stop filming this. So if I really think that I missed something out and you guys have to know, then I will put it on my Instagram story. The Instagram is this. You can follow me there. My website is here. I write articles almost every week. I didn't do one last week, but I was very busy. But every week, pretty much, I write an article. This is my Pinterest. I do a board for each season. So right now we're in spring summer 20. So I've got my SS20 board, and it's categorized into like different pieces of clothing. It's really good. If you want some inspiration, go to my Pinterest. This is my TikTok. I haven't posted a lot on there just because I'm not good at like proper TikToks. Yeah, I think that's it. I've plugged myself enough. I'll subscribe, like, comment, share. It really means a lot to me when you guys comment on stuff or like DM me about like things that you've read that I've written. I love reading everything that you guys have to say. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.